Episode 3 of Tulsa King Season 3 keeps the suspense and stakes high in anticipation of the impending confrontation between Dwight and Jeremiah Dunmire, the main antagonist of the current series. Episode 3 of Tulsa King Season 3 demonstrated that the show can still strike a balance between some of its trademark lighter moments and the rise in action and graphic mob violence, in contrast to Episode 2, which established a more darker tone for the series than ever before. In order to take care of some personal business for the dickhead FBI agent Musso, Dwight has go by automobile after a ridiculously funny scenario in which he pulls a pistol on a self-driving car. Although it is intriguing and a little perplexing to see Dwight come to terms with the fact that he is the worst person a mobster could be, an informant, the two almost begin to become friends. Surprisingly, Dwight told a Texas police officer he was an FBI agent during a traffic check in order to get Musso off a speeding penalty. Some of the humorous moments weren't the most logical to the plot, even if these sequences did provide some much-needed lightness in Tulsa King Season 3, which is becoming darker and more brutal with every episode. The extent to which Tulsa King Season 3 is developing its plot via a variety of supporting characters, as opposed to the previous 2 seasons' predominant focus on Dwight, pleased me. However, it also demonstrates that some of Dwight's wildcard crew members might get too enthusiastic when he becomes engrossed and is unable to call every shot. This season, Tyson has gained confidence, but when he faced Cole, Dunmire's unyielding son, his reckless desire overcame him. While being thrashed by Cole's thugs, Tyson had his moment, laughing uncontrollably at the idea that he would ever turn on Cole. Finally, when an innocent life was on the line, he did, and in the dark of night, the whole secret supply of Montague's rare bourbon was stolen. In the first 2 seasons of Tulsa King, Cole and his father would have been formidable villains on their own, but now since they are collaborating to take down Dwight, they pose the greatest danger in the history of the show. I'd be shocked if Dwight didn't lose one of his crew members, or worse, a loved one as a consequence of these heightened villains. At her worst, Chickie is made to seem like a bother by the Dunmires. Furthermore, Cleo, the newcomer, is an untamed force in her own right, doing donuts on Dunmire's lawn and coming within a half-second of lighting fire to his front door. Even though Mitch establishes the fundamentals of what it takes to be a member of Dwight's gang, Cleo has the greatest personal grudge against Dunmire and would probably go for blood with or without Dwight's approval. Tulsa King's morale drops after Cole attacks Tyson. Tyson was mostly ignorant when we first met him in Season 1, content to work as Dwight's driver and earn a good living. For a number of reasons, Tyson has emerged as a major character in Season 3 of the show. The Dunmires' family lineage is most shown by the racially fueled animosity that Tyson receives from Cole and his thugs. Similar like Dwight, previous villains competed for dominance and territory. Although many threats and intimidation techniques were used, there were only sporadic physical altercations. We thought that Tulsa King was going to become much worse since the Season 3 premiere ended with a guy and his home burning alive, but I must admit that I'm shocked that it's becoming this dark, particularly at the beginning. Tyson's survival is only due to the stainless steel Cybertuck's resistance to 9mm shots, which is accurate, incidentally. The perverse, racially motivated joy with which Cole's men fired those weapons created an unparalleled opportunity for the overt hatred shown against Tyson. His character gains a whole new dimension as a result, one that should be more beneficial than detrimental. The next Tulsa King episode may spark a conflict that might result in a carnage now that the Dunmires own Montague's whole supply, which is valued at tens of millions. Tulsa King may be becoming darker than ever after 3 episodes, but the increased intensity is making this season the most exciting and scary ever. This is because there are so many personalities and forces at play.